I'm about to go get my eyebrows microbladed. I'm so excited. Good afternoon, guys. I am just sitting in my car waiting a little bit. Excuse this face, but I wasn't allowed to wear any makeup today because I'm actually doing something fun and exciting. I'm getting my eyebrows microbladed. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Not because I have really bad eyebrows. Like you can see, like they're pretty full. I know there's lots of people that have like no eyebrows or blondes that you can barely see your eyebrows and stuff. So mine aren't that bad, but since I dyed my hair dark, I do need to darken my eyebrows a little bit, and I just want the shape, I just want it a little bit like thicker, I think, and I just want to not have to do my eyebrows every day, because I gotten to a point where I feel like if I don't do my eyebrows, they look weird, like, and I just think that's funny because growing up, like even in high school for me, nobody did their eyebrows. Like nobody drew in your eyebrows, nobody penciled them, except for like maybe a handful of people. So everyone pretty much had just their natural brows, and you just got them like plucked or waxed or whatever. And now everyone colors in their eyebrows or shapes them or whatever. That's just the look now. So there's been so many people on YouTube that have gotten microblading done, and I really like how everybody's has turned out. So I have a old friend that I used to work with, and she actually started her own business doing this, and she had a little promotion going on for the new year. So it was pretty affordable. She has an Instagram, which I will link down below. Hang on. She just texted me. One sec. But she does amazing work. I've like creeped all of her pictures, and she's really thorough. So I'm excited. I trust her, and you definitely want to go to someone you trust, because this is, I know it's a temporary thing, it's not permanent, but still it's on there for a while. The good thing about it is that it is not permanent, and so if I decide it's not for me, or you know, times change and eyebrow looks change, whatever, the ink will fade. So I will keep y'all updated, and we'll check in with you in a little bit. So my brows are done. I think they look so good. They're a little shiny right now because I have like a ointment on it. Oh, you see, hi. But yeah, I love them. She really had to match this one to this one, because this one was like perfect. It had the perfect arch and stuff like that, and then this one like didn't have an arch, and it came in like it had to go out further, and it's not as high. So this is my good brow. This is my good side. My good side has a huge zit on it. Are you eating my bun? But I'll go more into detail later. Later, after I put this little monkey to bed. This little monkey to bed. You better run, diaper bum.
She is not calming you for a nap, is she? No.
Okay guys, so last night we spent the evening at at my parents' house, so I didn't get a chance to sit down and really talk to you about the experience. Jace is napping, so I'm gonna try and be as quiet as possible. But you can, so it's the next day and you can already see they're so dark. And Grace talked to me about that ahead of time and like gave me a step-by-step on kind of what you're gonna see, and it was like day 2 it's gonna start to get really dark. So I'm not like shocked or anything like that, but well, I mean, I am still shocked. Yeah, they look a little cray, but it's okay, they'll all be fine. But I see why people sometimes don't want to go out when they like first get this done, because yeah, I'm sure people judge you. I don't really go anywhere, so I'm actually so happy with them. I think they look awesome, and I can't even believe like the difference between yesterday and today. Like yesterday they looked so good, and then today they're so dark. But yeah, it's all about the healing process. So I forget exactly what I've mentioned, so I'm just gonna kind of go over it again. What's cool about the progress picture is I didn't realize how different they looked until I saw the pictures side by side. And so that was really awesome. I'll insert it here. What I loved about Grace was she was very straightforward. She was able to answer all my questions, and she walked me through it like the entire time. She walked me through what she was going to do before she did it, and then even while she was doing it, she would let me know what was happening. So she was like, okay, now the strokes are going to get longer, so I could just expect her to feel it like going longer. And I like that. I like being kept in the loop. I used to get my lashes done, and that's one thing I would say is your eyes are always closed when you're getting your lashes done, so you can't check your phone or anything. And I would lay there and just constantly wonder, like, how far done is she? Like, is she almost done? Is she done one eye? Can I expect another 10, 20 minutes, half hour? Like, where are we at? I really liked that Grace was very like good at communicating. The biggest question is probably, did it hurt? And honestly, it did not hurt at all. I have tattoos, so I definitely was nervous going in because I'm like, I know what a tattoo feels like, and I'm like, is it gonna feel like that? The most painful part was when she was plucking, because she was just plucking some like stray hairs, and like the plucking was the worst part. So if you've ever gotten your eyebrows plucked, yeah, prepare yourself for that much hurt. What I like that Grace warned me about beforehand, she put on some music and she's like, you know, you can hear a scraping sound. She's like, so I like to put on some music so then you're not like focusing on listening to the sound, because it could bother some people. And when she started doing it, I could totally see how it could bug some people. And I just found that very interesting. And so I think she said there's more like techniques out there these days, but what I got done was microblading. So they take a little blade and they slice, oh sorry, I put some like ointment on my brows because they were starting to get a little dry. But so they do a little blade, take a little blade, and they do a slice. And I asked about bleeding because I'm like, well, how deep do you slice? Do people bleed? And she said that generally people don't bleed. What she compared it to is like a paper cut. So you know how you get a paper cut and you can kind of see red, but you don't actually bleed most of the time out of the paper cut? That's basically what it is. So they make little cuts, and then what they do is they insert the ink into those cuts, and then it kind of just absorbs it. And yeah, so I thought that was like super interesting, maybe kind of gross, but what we first did was we worked on the shape, decided what kind of shape we wanted, how thick we wanted, and what we did is she like measured, and then we just kind of drew it out. And she drew like a box, which I'll show you the picture, but she draws like a box, and the box is gonna look bigger than what your brow is actually gonna be, because the whole point of the box is that she's tattooing within the box. And so she's not actually doing like lines where the box is, you know? So I think like when you're trying to figure out the shape and stuff like that, like be aware of that it's not gonna be that big. I definitely wanted my brows a little bit thicker. And what we kind of noticed is this brow is like perfect. Like it was exactly what I wanted. So honestly, she didn't do anything to this brow. The arch was already there. The length was pretty much there. I think she went a little bit further. And so what we had to do is we had to match this one, because this one had like no arch, which was so funny. And I think I had kind of always noticed that, but I didn't really notice how much of a difference it was between this arch and this arch. And I know when I would draw my eyebrows on, I would try to make like this more archy, and I would never have to do anything with this. So that's a big thing that we did. We evened it out. She really created this arch, and she made the match way better. And Grace even said she's a little OCD, and so she was very like nitpicky about she was like, no, I think we need another stroke here and like one more stroke here. And she had a lot of attention to detail, and she didn't rush through it, which I think is great to find in a microblading artist. So like I'd be like, yeah, looks good, and she'd be like, I just need to touch up one little thing. And like I think drawing like the box and like figuring out the shape, like that's the part that takes the longest. The actual microblading part really doesn't take that long. I would say like to do the first pass, it was like maybe 5 minutes, like really not that long. Usually they do like a pigment bath. So if you've seen people get it done before, that's when they make it like is this thick, and they just layer on the ink and the pigment so that it really like seeps in. But what Grace kind of warned me about is that sometimes that will dye your brows and like the hairs. So if you have a lot of actual eyebrow hair like I do, it can dye them and make them a lot darker, like all the hairs and everything. And so we were just like, I don't really think that's necessary, so we didn't do it. I'm really excited to see it when it's all healed up and not have to do my brows. In regards to the healing process, it kind of depends on your skin, but she said that about 2 weeks you could be completely healed and done. But also at 2 weeks, some people have seen it really dark, some people have seen it really light, and that worries people is when it gets really light. But your skin actually needs to like regenerate, and then it pushes the pigment back up. So she said like your full results are going to be at 1 month, and that's when you're going to see how dark they're actually going to be. And then typically you want to go back for a touch-up within 3 months, kind of depending on what it's like. So at your touch-up is when you would reassess if it didn't take somewhere, because that's definitely possible. Sometimes your skin doesn't take in one spot, and then you need to do that over again. If I decided I wanted them thicker or longer, or if I wanted them darker, we would do all that in the touch-up, right? Because it's better to do less the first time and then reassess when you do the touch-up. You can see they look so natural, and like these are like more pronounced right now because they are starting to like dry out and scab, but those will kind of lighten a little bit. And yeah, it just looks really good. I'm so happy with it. So if you are in the Calgary area and you are looking to get microblading done, I would strongly recommend Grace from Framed Tattoo. And again, I will link her information down below and her Instagram, and you can go check her out. I'm going to do like everyday kind of vlogging. I'm not gonna post every single day, but I will do everyday vlogging just so you guys can see the change and what it ends up like. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to follow along and see what these turn out to be. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.